everybody. Welcome to this week's social stream. Talking is very hard today. I'm Sam. If you're new and you're here because you want to hang out and hear about some pretty cool stuff that happened this week, you're in the right place. I am joined by Mr.
Carlos Naranjo.
And Ms.
Corinne Robinson.
And they are both on our franchise team. So what does that mean?
Well, our franchise team is a team of writers and producers that helps keep all the lore and all the partner projects together for Halo.
So you guys are kind of the keepers of everything.
Yes.
No pressure.
All the story, all the assets, anything that's outside of the main game, pretty much, we touch, and even some of that as well.
Awesome. Yeah. So if you guys missed the news at Gamescom, was it yesterday, day before? It all blends together now. Gears 5 is coming out soon, and there's going to be some pretty cool special guests in there. In case you haven't noticed, they're right back there too.
It's behind him.
Yeah. Dude, that looks really, it's really cool.
Oh yeah.
For those of you that may have missed it, I think Liz, who's hanging out in the back, can run the trailer for us.
Oh yeah.
And then we can chat about it. So we're going to watch this cool ass trailer, and then we're going to talk about it.
Let's go!
Reverse kill.
Activating drop kill.
Deception is my specialty.
You're safe.
Over here.
Play 4 days early with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
We're back. We're back. Yay! So,
Hey, Gears.
Yeah. So you guys had a hand or two in making this happen, right? And bringing Kat and Emil to Gears 5, right?
Yes.
Did.
All right.
We did.
So I'm just going to open the floor up
Can I
to you
start
guys.
from the beginning?
Yeah, start from the beginning.
By
Yeah,
all
kick it
means.
off.
I'm just here for chat.
So Rod, the head of Gears, was talking to Chris Lee. We have these events at Xbox where we have all hands, where everyone from Xbox gets together. Gears was down in Redmond presenting some stuff about Gears 5 coming, and they talked to Frank O'Connor about a possible crossover, and we found that Reach would be a really good point of synergy. Oh, I hate to use corporate words. No, but it would be a really good thing for both studios. Surprisingly, we found through research that our audience doesn't cross over as much as I thought it did. I was like, oh, people that play Gears and Halo, like there's gonna be a huge crossover. There's actually not as much crossover as we thought. So it's actually just really good for both games to have like this extra exposure and extra like audience. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
I wonder if that's because it's like a first-person shooter to a third-person kind of type thing. And it's also like the atmospheres to the game are completely different,
Yeah,
right?
totally different tones.
Right.
Like, and we're teen now, like just a little bit,
Tone down a little
tone
bit.
down a little
I think
bit
Gears is,
compared
like,
to Gears.
Balls to the wall.
Yes,
Yeah.
a little bit.
For sure.
And we actually had to watch that on like the characters when we were doing VO and like developing like how far we could push it. We had to keep our Spartans, or we wanted to keep our Spartans in this heroic like bubble, but still have them fit into Gears. So allowing them to like push it a little bit, but without going like full on, like they're no longer Spartans, they're just like crazy in the Gears world. So trying to keep like the integrity of who they are, but like make them fit in was like Kenneth Peters, one of our writers, was working on like the tone part of it. So hopefully everyone enjoys it.
Sorry, I'm just looking. I noticed they don't have any controllers. Are they playing? No, we're not playing anything today. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk about Halo and Gears.
It's good. It's good that we're not playing.
I sent out an email. I was like, hey, who wants to join me and Carlos? And Corinne was like, I don't want to play. I was like, there's no gameplay. So we're all here. And then after this segment, we're going to take a quick break for about 5 minutes. And we're going to swap over. And we're going to show off some of the Halo Reach firefight.
Carlos should play Forza.
Yes. Who said that, Jeff?
Grim.
Yeah, of course.
So
Yeah.
Let's talk about.
Yeah,
that was back in January. So they had these conversations. By February, Carlos was brought on to the project to deal with all of the art stuff. So do you want to talk about what we had to do for that?
So with the coalition team, essentially for us, is we wanted to provide as much assets and materials for them to build off of, and then that was basically narrowed down to Kat and Emil. But that was just really working with our source Reach assets, and then them essentially using those to essentially rebuild everything to their specs. So,
was there any particular reason you guys settled on Kat and Emil? or was it just they seemed like the most visually like?
Yeah, we wanted to pick something, and this was our management team picking, not us specifically, but we really wanted to pick something that was like iconic and that people would know it was Reach right away.
I mean,
like,
Emil's helmet, right?
Emil's like the most iconic with that like carved helmet, and then Kat with her cybernetic arm or bionic arm. I'm not sure what we call it.
Yeah.
And then one of our concerns was how different the Gears skeleton is, but the Gears like skeleton has changed, so it's actually a lot closer. So when we got like the preliminary stuff back, it actually looked really good, like and really close to what we would have expected. We were expecting it to be really different, bulky, different proportions, like really look different. But as you can see from the final stuff, like
they look really good.
They look amazing. Like, what were some of the changes we had to make?
It was pretty minor. I think some of the skeleton stuff was essentially kind of bringing the shoulders a little bit out more and the arms out, and just it was a really minor modifications. So essentially building off of everything from Reach was, pretty the spot on place to start.
Can you tell people? They probably think we just have like depots of 3D assets like all ready to go to partners. Can you explain like how that process works? Like
yeah, sure. I mean, so a lot of the content, so like Reach in particular, we essentially are going back to all the source assets that were used for the game data, and then extracting those and basically cleaning up those files and preparing them so they can be used, whether it's by the coalition or another partner on another project. So that's on us to kind of try and pull all this content out of old titles and then enable other teams we work with to build off of those. And whether it is they're using it purely as reference or looking at it of how to essentially rebuild it. So
that's intense. So it's not something that happens overnight, and it's not as easy as like click and drag into my game, right?
Yeah, the make art button.
Right.
No such thing.
Thank you.
No such
I want
thing.
that. I want a button like that. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
so, like Carlos delivered assets in February, and then by like April maybe we had like high res.
Yeah.
So a couple months to get the high res into their game in their style, and
So that's both a long time and also not a long time. I
Right.
feel like
Yeah.
it's just weird. I'm just thinking like, man, that was a fast turnaround, but then it's also like it took a couple months. It's crazy,
Right.
But it's
Right.
kind of one of those hurry up and wait, I guess. I don't know.
Well, and I don't know that they were working on that solid the whole
Right,
time either. Like
for
we
sure.
could have been priority because they weren't announcing till Gamescom, so we had a little extra time.
Sorry, I'm just looking at chat, and somebody says, "Why is Halo on PC taking so long? Just press the port button." We haven't been able to find that button. So
If you know where it is, please write Sam.
someone over here says, "Reaching Gears Tactics coming to Xbox, and Jackbot and Gears. What a fantastic time for two of my favorite franchises." Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Well, and we were doing something. We were planning to do something very limited with just Reach, with just Kat and Emil. But then it kind of grew a little bit. Like around April, they sent us some pictures of the Jackbot and a Lancer skin and all this stuff, and we were like, oh, we're doing more stuff. Okay, cool. Like this is super cool.
So was that their idea?
I think. Yes, maybe it was just like a communication thing,
Okay.
or I had in my head wrong. It totally could have been me, Gears people. But we were working with Bonnie Jean Ma, their narrative lead, for like all of the. We decided to use the actual actors, which was super fun. So
That had to be a great phone call. Hey, you remember those characters you played?
yeah, you know those characters you played
10 years
when you
ago?
recorded in 2009? Yeah. So one of the agents had to go find the actors, like see if they were still doing voice acting, which
Right.
they are. So that was a
Excellent.
good first step. But they got both of the actors to do sessions with us, which is great. But we recorded in the end of May, and then one of the actors, we had some scheduling conflicts, so we couldn't get him until like June or July. And they were starting to panic about that because I mean that is so tight for what their like closing date was for getting all of their VO done for the whole game.
Right.
So like
the game's gold now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So the game's done. The game's ready to launch.
yes. So getting all that stuff done in time to get into the limited edition for this was super tight. And then we got the Lancer skin, which is awesome.
I
Carlos,
don't have a picture of it, but you can.
oh, you can kind of see it on here. Like
Yeah.
it has. We decided to go with the anti-dot pattern, adding
Yes.
that in, and then Carlos fixed it so it actually has the anti-dot like patterns
Oh, I
in
did
the
the
lights.
coalition team did that,
Coalition
yeah.
team did it.
Yeah,
but
they actually got it to animate. And,
yeah, they got it
do
to
some really
animate
cool
and,
stuff.
like,
I didn't realize it was animated.
Carlos
That's
was like
cool.
pushing on it to like, oh, how about this? Ooh, how about this? And they kept doing it. So Coalition, amazing. Thank you. We were super happy with how it turned out though. And
A
yeah.
chainsaw on a grunt sounds like cruel punishment. I mean, we already give
I
them
wanna
fuel
see
rod
that.
cannons.
I want
Like,
to see that.
Oh wait, Grimm's promoting himself. Read Cannon Fodder for more info. We'll give Grimm a call out with
Yeah.
Cannon Fodder.
and look, Eric Ibu has a link for you. And
Oh,
Postum
see?
Gelate called them Chuckies. Oh my gosh. I did see someone in chat say that Cat's super or ultimate, whatever they're called in Gears, would be her driving a warthog into people and splattering them unintentionally.
Nice.
Yeeks.
Just gotta watch out for needles.
I was gonna say, and then what about the powers, the drop shield, and
Oh yeah, their abilities. Yeah, so
Their
they
abilities.
both have the ultimate, the ability of Emil and the drop shield, and then Cat and the hologram, which is really cool. So the Gears team did a lot of work to try and get as close to possible, or close to reach as possible.
So
and kind of
basically,
their execution of that.
as close as copy pasting it as you can get in game dev, kind of.
In a sense of recreating it right in
Yeah.
that engine, and then balancing so that it works. And I mean, it looks amazing. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
One of the fun things for us was to see all the different weapons, because we'd just seen the Lancer for quite a while.
Yep.
But I think there's 19 total weapons
Oh.
in Gears, and they were actually doing. You can see some of them behind us, but they were actually doing the anti-dot pattern and all of the.
They're doing a full suite.
They were doing a
Yeah.
full suite of
Yeah.
weapons again,
Ah.
things that I was not aware of. But yeah, we were like, oh my god, this is so cool! Now there's like all these weapons, and like trying to see all the close-ups on every single one, and just make sure, like, because they have super cool weapons in Gears,
Yeah, they do.
obviously. Like really iconic weapons, so to have like a little halo flare on those
On a
weapons, it was
Lancer.
just kind of cool. Yeah.
Let's see what else is happening. So is there any, like
We
is
need
there
a
any-
mongoose in Gears, yes. By the way,
That'd
I
be
hope.
good.
I'm just saying yes because I want one, not because that's happening. Kotaku, I did not
Announcement.
say that it's happening.
Announcement, not an announcement.
Not an announcement.
No. Do you guys play, like? Have you guys played Gears at all?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What do you
For
think?
sure. Love
Are
it.
you
Love
excited?
it.
Are you really excited to
Oh,
hop
yeah,
in as
absolutely.
these guys?
Gears is actually one of the first games that my wife and I would play at the same time, so we would play a
that's
lot before
awesome.
she would go to work, and so just having that co-op was kind of a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people like this has been exceptionally well received in my opinion. Like almost everybody has been universally excited for it. Of course, I've seen like, well, where's everybody else? We need
Right.
Carter. We need June. It's like
That's it.
okay. I mean, I
That's the
get
only
it.
bad thing I've seen is like we're not getting the whole team.
Right. We
Yeah.
want more. Right. Like this is awesome. We want more.
Carlos is scheming over here. Who
like
do I
it.
need to talk to?
But I've also seen just like the amount of people I've seen that have been so excited. I'm like, hey, I don't even play Gears.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Gears for this.
Yes.
Especially because you get it if you have the Game Pass Ultimate, which has been
Right.
basically been given away for how I don't like. You could upgrade your Xbox Live Gold to Game Pass Ultimate in Gold for $1.
Oh,
So,
sweet.
If you
Yeah.
haven't
Wow.
done that, you should go look into it. For
Yes,
Sure.
it's absolutely worth it. But if you do that, that's how you get access to this or the Ultimate Edition of Gears 5, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I've seen a lot of people be like, I'm actually going to play it just for this.
Yeah.
Because
Awesome.
I really want to play as
Yeah.
a Spartan
Yeah.
in Gears. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think even having that first-person perspective and then going to third and seeing, Cat and Emil in that third person is really cool because, I mean, we've seen some of that depending on weapons and vehicles and, in Reach before, but you don't get that quite that look, especially at that fidelity, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The fidelity on their game is just beautiful.
Yeah.
Like every time we were seeing stuff, I was like, oh my god, that looks so good.
The original image of this, like the quality of it is
Yeah.
insane. I had to like shrink it down so far. And so I'm in Photoshop and it's like off the screen and I put it down to 1920 and on my screen it's like this big. And I was like, how big was it? It was massive. It's great. It's pretty awesome. Let's see, what else is happening in chat? I like every game for the work that gets put into them. You guys do an amazing job. Well, thank you, Skull Crusher. I'm pretty sure everybody appreciates that.
Warthog and Forza is one of the first things I've gotten. I was also on the Sea of Thieves for the rest of the Spartan stuff. Yep. Oh, Sea of Thieves just announced the rest of the Spartan package for their ship livery. So if you haven't gotten that, if you play this week, you can get it for free. So play Sea of Thieves as well.
Fun
Another
fact,
crossover.
Fun fact, all you have to do is actually log in, because I did that
Oh,
at my desk this morning.
great.
My computer was restarting, because for the original, for the sales in the hull, you would log in and then it would get delivered like the week after. But for this one, all you have to do is sign in and it's all available for you right away if you go to the, whatever her name is on the dock. So I thought that was pretty cool, because I was like, hey, I actually haven't seen this yet in game. So I got hopped in and I was like, okay, cool. I logged in, I walked over to her and I talked to her. I was like, oh, all my stuff is here.
Like again, Xbox has all these amazing studios, so it's so cool to get to work across them.
Yeah.
Like getting to work with Gears and getting to work with Rare, some of the Sea of Thieves guys. When they came to us and said, "Can we make like a shanty song just for the marketing that's like the Halo monks?" And we were like, "Yeah, that would be amazing." And then
Yes,
like
please.
2 days later, it was done and it was amazing and it was in the like trailer. And I was like, I don't even know how you did it that fast, but like you're amazing. So. Fun partnerships.
It's pretty great. I know I was over at Xbox Studios when they did the skeleton figurehead, and he's in KI.
Yeah.
So they were like, They reached out to me they reached out to the KI Twitter account. They were like, hey, do you guys want to do like a cross studio giveaway thing? And I was like, yes.
Nice.
Like, it's a fighting game, but everybody will go nuts for this. So yes, let's do it. So.
Ooh. Someone says they
Final,
got to play
yes.
Horde at the Microsoft Store demo, and Emil's drop shield is actually really useful. Good.
Awesome.
So, pro tip.
Awesome. Can you share anything about the thought design process behind the abilities that were given to Kat and Emil?
Yeah, I mean, I think that really comes down to the coalition team kind of driving that, and then really looking at what was done in Reach. So, I mean, that's pretty spot on when you're looking at those abilities. So.
Being like, hey, what of the Spartan
Yeah.
abilities,
Yes.
like Spartan
Yeah.
armor abilities, are
Yeah.
useful, would be
Yeah.
useful, and translate well to
And that
gear?
was something they were trying to pull in as much of Reach as they could. Like, even with the lines, they were like, what are the most iconic lines? Can you send us the full script from Reach? Can you send us, like,
Wow.
so they were like, we want to, like, mimic some of the things, like, that people know, not just go, oh, he's in this different situation and they're doing something totally Gears, but, like, let's do some throwbacks. Let's have them repeat some of the lines they said in Reach that were super iconic. And then again, the tone thing, like, how do we keep it in that same Reach tone so it really is that character, not just, like, a Gears version, like it is the character in their world. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
Out of canon.
There has
I'll say
been-
that for Grim.
And I think actually is Jeff. I mean,
Jeff is in chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I think Jeff's actually been writing about some of this about like Kat and Emil and those abilities.
So he did write up a cannon fodder, and that went out this morning. It was actually, I was at my desk and I looked at my clock. I was like, oh my god, it's 8:09. I was supposed to put that out 10 minutes ago. Jeff, we need to publish. He's like, it's not going out till 10. And I was like,
I was like, today's Wednesday.
everything else goes out at 8 in the morning in my defense. At least I was early. He just kind of looked at me and gave me that look of like, are you sure? I tried. I
Yeah.
tried.
I was trying to think if there's anything else we should talk about for Gears.
Yeah.
Well, I want to be playing right now. That's what I want to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. I haven't played anything yet. The people in the chat have played more than me because they've played Horde.
Yeah, I have not played. Gears is one of those things that frustrated me because I picked it up after playing Halo, and I was like, I was used to how smooth Halo was, and I get to Gears, and I'm like, this is really frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
I am excited though, the third person like idea, just like getting to see the character do cool stuff instead of just being in, you know.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I guess you get to see these because you're playing as Noble 6 usually, but and then obviously tie in with MCC and Reach stuff for us. Super exciting
Yeah.
to have everyone go back and play Reach and Reach PC, and like, I don't know, that's what I'm excited for, I think.
Okay, we're going to be seeing some of that next. Giveaways? Nope, no giveaways here, guys. We're just here to hang out and talk about Gears and
Ooh,
Halo.
what's a game you want to see Halo in? Something off the beaten path.
Ooh. Because they have put Halo in a lot of stuff, right? Like we said, Sea of Thieves, Forza, Gears now. There's the Minecraft KI. There's the Minecraft mashup
Oh, yeah.
pack.
You worked on
Rocket
Minecraft.
League,
You guys
yeah.
did a bunch of stuff. Rocket League, yeah.
Rocket League, yeah.
We've done a
Did
lot of
Minecraft
Yeah,
crossovers.
there's been a lot.
Bomberman.
Yep.
What else?
Connectimals.
Connectables. Oh my gosh, someone said Halo and Mario Kart. I was going to say, like, actually in the side scroller would be
Everybody
amazing.
in chat,
Yeah.
unsurprisingly,
I guess that's not Kart,
saying
but yeah.
Smash. Everybody wants to see Chief in Smash.
Okay, we'll
See
work on it.
Destiny.
Killer Instinct, you're late, Omar. It's already in KI.
It's in KI, yep.
Go play Arbiter.
Halo Crackdown.
There we go.
I mean, that's actually not a bad one. That would fit pretty. It would slot kind
It
of.
actually kinda would work.
Well. There's one. Oh,
GTA.
Guitar Hero.
That would be cool.
Mortal Kombat. That was one I was thinking because they just didn't like their player lineup thing just got leaked out, right? So there's like Joker, Terminator. Oh, thank you, laptop.
Nice.
Well, my chat just died, so I'll fix it in a second. Wait, I don't know what happened.
Oh, is
It's
it coming
thinking.
back?
It's
Oh,
thinking.
boy.
Okay.
Oh, no.
But imagine a flood combat form in Mortal Kombat or something.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah.
amazing.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
So if Ed Boon happens to be watching, he should talk to you guys,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Alright.
definitely.
Okay, I don't know what my laptop. Okay, look, we're back.
There we go. We
Does
got
Emil
more.
have I'm Ready, How About You? That was one of the lines we submitted. I haven't, like I said, I haven't played it, but I think it is in there.
I would hope
Rainbow
so.
Six?
Yeah.
I like that.
Rainbow Six.
UFC? Okay, I can see that.
That would
Halo
be
and Doom.
interesting. I feel like that would give the Spartans an unfair advantage in a UFC game.
Master Chief and Soul Calibur?
Halo dating simulator when? Probably never.
Interesting.
When I worked for Todd McFarlane, we had Spawn and Soul Calibur.
They're laughing off
Different
off screen.
crossover. Halo Madden. Yes, let's do that. Spartans versus any football team.
More Minecraft. I like it.
Have you gone back and like, because I know so Minecraft has been doing like all the aquatic updates and stuff like that. Are they also updating? Does anybody know if they're updating like the mashup packs with the new stuff?
Yeah, I think when the last thing, when the aquatic update went out, it did update that too.
I have
Yeah.
not looked at that, and now I
Yeah.
want to go see what a
Yeah.
Halo Panda looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
we-
mashup stuff is awesome.
You did a bunch of work for that because it was
Yeah.
like started with Halo 4? Was it after Halo 4? Or was it Halo 5?
It was more sort of a general Halo universe because
okay.
we've got Mr. Chief in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
right.
it was kind of like a broader universe thing where we actually looked at like Halo 3 for a lot of spaces and then added in the Halo 5. You see Fire Team, Osiris, and Blue Team.
Yeah. There's some really
Yeah.
cool skins and stuff
Yeah.
in there. I
Yeah,
like
it's
using
really-
the
I love
monitor
it.
one because it's really funny because you're floating, right?
Yeah.
Your guy's not, there's no feet or anything until you put all the armor on.
Yeah.
And then, like, you just wear the chest or the helmet, and then there's, like, boots and an empty space. It's funny.
I like the
I'm easily
bugger.
amused.
The bugger looks ridiculous. It's so funny.
I don't think I remember that one.
Just a little guy.
I need to go back and check those out.
Oh, Halo and Half-Life 3. There we go.
And Carlos also got to work on Fireteam Raven. So
Oh.
introducing the flood
That's right.
forms there and like getting it out.
You've had your hands on
Yeah.
quite a lot. That's awesome.
Yeah, I like to work on a lot of content outside of kind of our core title, and then kind of connecting different franchises, and then also getting new audiences.
Yeah.
Able to check it out. So,
Because, I mean, there's something to be said. I've seen a lot of tweets and posts and stuff on Reddit or, elsewhere, and they're like, oh my god, what is this Halo arcade game? And it's like,
yeah.
hello, we've only been talking about it. Like, okay, well, to be fair, not everybody follows. So it's actually really exciting when they say that and they see it and then they show up and they're like, hey, look what I found. This is awesome. I'm excited. So it does reach like a different audience that may
Yeah.
not necessarily
Well, and it's a
know.
physical audience. Like you have to be somewhere where
Yeah.
they have it.
Yeah.
Like it's more and more places. I think it was in like 26 countries now, and now that there's a 2-person version as well as the 4-person,
Yep.
like it should be getting
Yep.
out there
Yep.
even more.
Grim says, talk about those Halo 3 screenshots.
Oh boy, how much time do you have?
We got like 5 minutes
All
left
right,
with
Jeff.
these guys.
We'll talk later.
Okay. So since we do have a couple minutes left, and we kind of skipped over it at the beginning, what exactly do you guys do, like each of you do on the franchise team?
Will you go first?
Work on all this stuff, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I think as a producer on the franchise team, because franchise, we work with so many teams in the studio and then outside the studio. So I work on a lot of partner projects. I'm working on the show as well right now. As a producer,
When you say the show, what show is that?
not formally named, but
The
announced.
Showtime show?
The Showtime show. I'm like, what can I say?
We
This
have
always
some actors.
happens.
We have actors to it too. Like there's names.
We've had lots of exciting announcements
Yeah.
for the Showtime
Yeah.
show that Carlos
I just know too much. That's the thing.
is where I know. Yeah, you have to
That's-
be
that's
careful.
I
fair.
probably shouldn't
That's
talk.
fair. I actually didn't know you were working on it. That's exciting.
yeah.
So now whenever I need to know anything, I'm
Yeah.
just
I don't know anything.
It's easier.
late.
It's easier.
Too late.
People know now.
No.
Halo cereal.
Hey, let's do. Oh yeah, like we have those shirts that are like Covenant
There we
Crunch.
go. Eric,
He's-
get over here.
Eric is wearing one.
And Brute Loops, like those are some of like my favorite shirts because like when we were going through, they had like Covenant or Master Chief cereal or something. We were like, come on, we got to think of something better than Master Chief cereal. Like, and going back and forth with those artists, we ended up with Covenant Crunch, and we were like helping make up all the words on that shirt. Like that's a silly thing, but it's something that my team does. So like again, writers and producers. But like we kind of get to touch everything Halo, which for me is like my favorite part
Yeah.
because like Infinite is like working to make this amazing game and it's going to be awesome. We can't talk about it, of course, but it's going to be awesome. But then everything else, like we get to look at, or at least see. There's teams of people working on MCC and working on consumer goods and working on books and like all these different
You
pieces.
guys kind of like.
But we
bridge
get
the
to kind of
gap.
touch
Yeah.
it because it's like anything with words, anything with lore, anything that needs assets, like comes through our team.
Can confirm.
So yeah, it's good stuff.
Can confirm. I know we have to come to you guys. Hey, we need this. Hey, can we use this? How about this? How about that one? Because we want to do this.
Yeah.
Why do you ask so many questions?
It's good though, and then that's part of our job is like consistency and making sure everything's like up to the level that we want it for quality and like that it all fits within like our portfolio of things that we're doing. Because if all of a sudden we're doing this thing and it doesn't fit with anything else and there's no point to it, then why are we spending time there? So we only have a certain number of people and a certain number of resources. So like finding ways to maximize the like output is the big thing. The impact, as
And it's-
Microsoft would say.
And it's not even always. It's not even always like big things, right? Like, hey,
No.
can we say that Chief was here? It's, hey, Jeff. How do we write this phrase? Like, how do we? Is
Yeah.
it game modes, game types, game? Is it one
Yeah.
word, 2 words, hyphenated? Like, it's sometimes super nitpicky things.
The thing we get asked the most, maybe, I don't know, it comes up a lot is what do we capitalize? What do we do in italics? Which things do we say the Master Chief or Master Chief in which situations? When we use like Sierra 117 versus Master Chief 117 or John 117, like all the different pieces that come up just over and over and over again. So like trying to have consistency, trying to like not overstep things that we've already said. And then also our job is when something is said that isn't true or conflicts with something else, retconning it and figuring out what the truth is.
Sorry, I just saw Sergeant Johnson branded cologne.
I saw that too. I like that.
I love that.
Comes with a
This is good.
cigar. I want a cigar with it.
Or it's just scented like
Halo Infinite should give a token for those who completed MCC on Legendary. It's an idea. We'll throw it out there, and I just said it out loud, so I don't
There
know.
you go.
Corinna's gonna like locate
We'll
confirm
ask-
all this stuff.
we'll
It's
ask
all gonna come
Infinite.
back and they're gonna be
It's
like,
all gonna haunt
that
me.
one stream, that one time.
Yeah.
No.
Although no one's ever picked up on anything we've said on stream, huh, Grim?
No,
So we're
no,
fine.
never.
We're
We're good.
totally fine.
We're good.
Oh boy.
No rewards for things.
No
I
words
haven't
for-
done myself.
Well,
All right.
I'm never gonna pass Breach on Legendary, so I won't get it either. So.
All right. Well, we're about ready to swap over. Do you guys have any like last words or any comments? Anything like any?
Thanks for having us
We're
on.
excited
Yeah.
for Gears.
Yeah.
Great partnership. Thank you guys so much at the Coalition, and thanks for having us on today.
Yeah. No, thank you guys.
Yeah.
This is
good.
exciting.
was fun.
Liz has been trying to get me to have 2 guests on at the same time for a while now. So it
Or
Sorry we didn't have Dr. Pepper.
oh, more Dr. Pepper. Is that a thing? Okay.
This way. Here we go. Yay! All right. Are we gonna put up the slate real quick, or are we just gonna do it live? No, we're good. All right, we're just gonna do a quick swap over.
Thank you to everyone on chat.
Yes. All right. We're gonna go ahead,
All right.
de-mic, and then we'll bring in new people.
All right.
I'm just gonna sit here because this is my seat now. I'm always on this side now. Oh, I have to scoot over, right? I lied. I'm moving. I don't know how much closer. Okay. All right. Come on, Sean. Hi. And plug in. Yeah. Yeah, we are. We're still live.
Awesome.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Carlos.
We are plugged in. Can you hear me?
Good job. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Working very hard, but
You are.
like all of us here.
Yeah. So, in case you somehow missed our like really awkward live changeover, I'm here now with Mr. Sean Swiderski.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
We're here to talk. What's the topic for today?
I don't know, man. Like, do we have anything exciting happening?
We do.
Okay.
Today we'll be showcasing to you guys.
Sorry, chat says you're hot.
Oh, thank you, thank you, chat. Today,
Look, I'm just going with what chat says. Okay.
today we'll be showcasing the upcoming firefight flight. So as of today, we had some, again, if you've seen Postum's blog recently around our rings and everything, we've actually got a build today that we'll be showcasing that we have our 2 last ring 3 blockers resolved.
So what does that mean? What
so-
is it, for like the average person that doesn't understand what a ring blocker is? What does that mean?
Games are very hard. We'll start there. But in reality, again, one of the first things we put forth with MCC All Up, and you saw that last year going into the console update, is leveraging flighting, right? And so on PC and what we've done with our flighting strategy is we've been able to create these rings that we have an internal ring to start with, a build, right, that we can go over and review here on site at the studio, and then we go out to ring 1. Right, this is a group of folks that have a variety of machines, a variety of specs, so we can kind of test the waters and taste the waters of like, is this something that we're comfortable moving to further rings with, right?
So, and on that note, because there's like a lot of people like I've seen this misconception that they're like, oh, my PC isn't amazing. I don't have like a super powerful machine. We're not only testing for like the really really good machines, right? Because not everybody has that. There's a lot of average, maybe below average PCs. So it's not like a ring isn't necessarily comprised of everybody only has 2080s or 1080s, right? You have different
operating systems, different machines, and so again, with these groups, we've established really good rapport with them. So we can, again, we have a lot of trust there that we can obviously put forward these builds, right, and be in a place where we can see things before we're ready to open it up to a wider audience. So overall, it's been super helpful, and again, I can't thank the guys enough. One of the things, obviously, I'm like head deep in email and stuff like that, but I do try to chime in when I can after, like, if we do like a Ring 1 flight over a weekend, just to let the guys know and gals know, like, again, they're doing a great job and they're helping us get the product ready. I think what we've seen with this one too, with this firefight build, a lot more variables come into play. So like looking at the last campaign flight, very very golden path driven to the extent, we gave you, options to mess with in the front end. Then when you got in game, you're just playing, right? And then if you had to change your settings, you had to leave the game. So like one of the big things we wanted to, from the feedback we got from the last one is, let's obviously have what our real product will look like, right, when it ships, is put the settings in the game so I can tune and adjust them during gameplay. And so, again, that's a variable. Matchmaking is now a variable, so there's servers and things that come into play. Also looking at security all up, like being on PC, there's a lot more variables there. So we went back to the drawing board and looked at what security solutions we can put in place. Again, being on PC, you're in a world that is pretty open, right? You're not as constricted to just being on a one console or one device. But it's been great learnings for us, and there's a lot here that we hope to obviously start with MCC and then push on to Infinite and things like that.
So again, in case you missed it, games are hard. There's a lot that goes into it. So like again, everybody always thinks, oh, it's just copy paste, right? No, it's definitely not. But we are going to show off what Eric's favorite word is called, the Fireflight.
Yes. We even made stickers. I feel upset.
Those?
I feel upset that I don't have a sticker here. If there's anybody in the studio watching, you could probably bring in a sticker.
Tyler has one.
Yeah. It has been labeled the Fireflight, and we did it just for you, Mr. Ferdinand.
So we actually have somebody here who is going to play along with some of the guys here in the studio. So I think we can start searching, right?
Yeah, we should.
You should look at the
And I just
camera and
want
say
to
hi.
say that those stickers were created while I was out of town.
That was fantastic.
And they did that to troll me. So as soon as I came back on my first day, during our morning stand-up, they decided to show me the wonderful rainbow stickers.
They're so cute. They're great. I love it.
Yeah, there were words that were had on that.
What hopper are they searching?
They're going to be searching heroic firefight.
Heroic firefight.
So that brings us into a good segment here. So in terms of the content for this flight, this will be primarily focused on Halo Reach firefight matchmaking. So with this, we're being, the things we're looking to validate, right, is our matchmaking flow, right? Our user is able to connect. Within this flight group we're looking at, we have users all over the world,
right.
I should say. So again, we have servers and deployments.
Hey, look, they're in.
They are in certain areas. So we have a heroic firefight hopper, which is heroic difficulty and allows you to play on 3 maps. We're do Beachhead. We're do Corvette, and we're do Holdout.
Which one's your favorite?
I would say Corvette.
Yeah. You just like the classic.
Well, for me and some of the old school guys in there, like I would always farm Grunt Apocalypse, Grunt Apocalypse to get credits and XP for Reach, and I just remember it was also a good warm up exercise too. Like, sure you're only shooting elite or grunts. But having Birthday Party on and then hearing all the yay, hooray, like, I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed Corvette. It looks good as well. Unfortunately, we didn't, get the luck to load into Corvette. But that would, I'd say, be my favorite one.
I think Corvette is like the basic, like, it's the most standard, it's the most straightforward, and it's also, it's not as open as Holdout is, right? Like, you have...
Oh, that was amazing.
Right? Amazing. Amazing. You guys all saw that, right?
Anybody who plays with me knows that that's pretty standard.
Chat is amazing. Let's take a look. Xbox chat says it must be hard to have a game on multiple platforms.
It is.
I think there are challenges.
It definitely is challenging. I think, again, in our just sort of product vision for MCC PC is like we need to focus on the PC controls and the PC experience first. So what you see, I'd say after this game we can maybe go into the settings. I don't want to distract you during the game, Mr. Eric Fernand, but after the game we can look at the settings. We're having a field of view slider in there, sensitivity options, resolution scaling options, windowed, windowed mode, all kinds of different things for users that are PC players to be able to interact with. And I would say that has made things complex because these games were built for the Xbox all up.
Right.
However, we have the ability now, and working with our partners, Splash Damage and Ruffian, is we're able to obviously see how we can build a PC first experience for this.
Sure. Looking at chat. Eric Ocean Valdez says, everyone in Halo's had a suicide moment. Don't worry, he's done it plenty.
Oh, I'm not worried.
Hopper says hi. Hi, Hopper. And he also thinks your Covenant Crunch shirt is pretty sweet.
Oh, thanks. It ties into what you were talking to Carlos and Kern about.
It does. So would there be a crossover PC and console? I don't know that we've
We've yet to really talk on the
Crossplay.
crossplay story. Again, these are features that we're looking at. We want to land the experience first on PC right now and make sure that we're delivering a product that is at the quality.
So, what exactly is your job? Like, how do you fit into all this, right?
So on the team, on the 343 publishing team, just a producer on the team, right? So like within production, we get to work with engineering, design, art, test, all these different teams, as well as our external partners, right, that are out of the UK. And so with being in production, you have so many plates that are spinning, right? The engineering needs to, or is working on delivering features.
Sorry, Scoops says you get grub coffee.
I do get grub
Yeah,
coffee.
it's true. He does.
And Mountain Dews. I got you a Mountain Dew.
That is
before this
true.
stream.
That did happen.
Thank you, Thirsty.
But again, you're working with various teams, and so like when engineering has a feature ready to be completed, obviously test is in a place where they need to look at the feature and validate and write bugs, right? Which are, bugs are bad, but they happen. So
Some are hilarious.
Some are hilarious.
That's true. I've seen some. Eric linked us to like the video
Best
gifts.
of. We have
the
a
best of.
repository of some of our greatest
They're
moments
so
of
good.
bug finding on the team.
Sometimes you have to wonder, like, how. Okay, all right, that's just gonna go with it.
Yeah, and it's amazing. So like that's a piece there with engineering, and then you hand off a feature that test is then playing and writing feedback on or validating in a build. And then you have, for example, art. Like something that happened today. Like our art director came up to me and was like, "Hey, I'm looking at adjusting some of our HDR values for console. We don't have a debug tool right now that is hooked up, right?" And so like you're actually working and understanding like, okay, I need to work with engineering to make sure somebody writes debug or supports it. So the artist can then pick up and then start working. So I absolutely love it. Like being somebody that grew up being a people person, like it's been a role and a part of game development that I've really enjoyed, is that you work with a lot of really great and smart people.
So you're kind of like the go-to guy. You're organizing. You're the guy that has the task list and like the calendar. You're like, this is due here. This is due here. You need to talk to you. You need to talk to this person, and then we're gonna make it all come together.
Yes, that is the goal. And again, being a supporting factor for all the resources on our team.
So you heard a lot of cats.
Yeah.
All right.
There's more than one of me, one producer.
Yes,
we
but
have
I mean,
some others.
But everybody has their own, their own cats to herd, right? It's still.
Of course.
I always think it's fascinating, right? Because obviously I deal with people, but I deal with people on a different scale and in a different way than you do. So it's always interesting to see how other people.
Yeah, like even like this flighting build is a prime example of that, right? Like. Working with our partners at Splash Damage, right? Like we're waking up, for 8:30 a.m. calls with them, which is like our flighting early morning call. We've assessed the build yesterday, and we've sent over feedback of what needs to get fixed. So, for example, you can imagine like, okay, here's the Ring 3 blockers that we need to have fixed, and they're in a time zone that they're ahead of us, and essentially working on it. So when we come into that 8:30 a.m. sync, it's like, okay, we have bugs resolved, they're checked in. You guys need to kick off a new build.
Because they're all working their standard 9 to 5 or whatever on their time zone, and we're working it here. So it's not like any one of us is offset to make sure that everybody's working together, right?
Yeah, and
it's
again,
hard.
lots of coordination. I love Microsoft Teams.
I actually really like it. It's so much better than Skype.
I've been actually really enjoying it, again, with our external development with our partners. And back to that comment, like what I've noticed is when you get in a really good rhythm with working with these partners that are in, time zones that are ahead of you, you can really make a lot of progress on, again, bugs being fixed, being, making sure builds are constantly updating and being on the latest. And it does require some coordination, but if you do get in a good flow, it is pretty awesome to see.
So there's a couple questions. Let's see. Brute 1, Spartan 0. Yes, Grim is keeping score. Thank you. Ruffian and Splash Damage are both in the UK. Yes, that is correct. Hopper over in the Xbox chat wants to know if there's been any discussions about putting anti-cheat in place for PC MCC. Because I'm sure there's a lot of players concerned about that aspect on PC.
We are looking at cheating solutions for sure,
right.
For PC. Again, goes back to that security feedback, right, that we saw last time. From just the last flight, again, users, sure, it was just campaign, and there weren't ways that you can manipulate other users. Again, these are things that we address and we learn and we understand, okay, what is the best solutions we can put forward? So to answer that question, yes, we're looking at cheat solutions that can help, obviously, make the experience a great experience for all.
Yeah, for sure. What are you looking forward to the most?
PvP.
Yeah, matchmaking.
I mean,
You really?
yeah. I'll be real. Like PvP, it's what I competed on back in the day, especially the no bloom, no sprint settings. We have our internal pro team downstairs hopping in and getting some games on that from time to time. It's for sure the thing I'm looking for the most, and to give you guys somewhat of a looking ahead and of future flights. We're looking at an Xbox flight after this, which will be PvP specific, and then we'll find a PC PvP flight to come after that one. So PvP is coming. I'm super excited. Again, the no bloom stuff, no sprint stuff is.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And to be honest too, like you go back and I do hop on from time to time at night throughout this project, just hopping on the legacy title, 30 frames, and then you come into the office the next day and you're playing on 60 frames, like seeing
So much better.
really good graphics, and it's night and day. So that's even with this flight, I'm really excited for the users that do get selected for this to see the firefight experience, because even going to a dedicated server model, right, compared to the peer-to-peer
Right.
model, there's a lot of improvements that you get for the experience all up, and so it's something we're excited to
So
get in the hands of people.
I played a lot of this from living in the Middle East and Italy.
No way, you played from Italy?
Yeah.
Oh
So you talk about like the peer-to-peer dedicated servers.
no, Sam's host again.
You say that. I had a 360 that was such a monster host box. I would join custom games after they had started to make sure that I didn't get host. And my box would be like, oh, you joined a game, here's host. And it would host migrate everybody to my connection. I thought it was fantastic.
It probably felt like butter for you. Like, it's just amazing. Like
Everyone hated it.
It's well, that's like Dana Jerpek, he's our technical designer on the project, and there's times when again, if we have like peer-to-peer enabled, or if I get host in a game, I instantly tell and reach when I'm host, because the way, like, again, your bullets just damage and registered against the enemies, it's like I know it. Obviously with the DMR you can see the bloom reset. Host feels super good. I couldn't even imagine. Like,
but no, so I played a lot of my multiplayer was like off host, obviously, because I was playing with friends in the US, and generally in matchmaking I didn't get host much. But yeah, it was an experience. Like, it was playing Reach, playing 3, playing 4, all that from like overseas. Oh boy, that was fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned you like matchmaking. What is your what's your favorite map to play on?
Ooh,
PvP.
is this for Reach specifically?
Let's say Reach specifically.
I'm gonna go with I really like Zealot.
Okay.
Zealot's one of my favorite maps from Reach.
Just like the round. It's the Covenant.
Oh, might have got a stability.
Well, game dev is hard,
Well.
guys.
Yeah.
There it is. Oh,
All right, that was fun.
wait,
Whoa.
no, I'm back.
He's
I'm
back.
Just kidding. We
Okay.
are back.
Interesting.
Known issue. No.
It is now.
Somebody's asking who's playing. That's Mr. Eric Ferdinand, aka IK Grub.
That is me.
I
Yeah.
tagged him in the tweet, so you can go follow him and tweet and blow up his Twitter account too.
Yeah,
Work
do
in
it.
progress. Yeah.
Do it.
Before getting back into the map stuff, like, again, this build is something we've cut super recently, and we want we're going to look forward to putting our builds that we want to get out there to Ring 1 and Ring 2 to also validate some of these things. But again, these are the things that we review after this stream, right? Like, okay, we saw this happen during the game. Can we try to reproduce it more consistently?
Yep.
Do we think users are going to hit this all the time? These are the decisions and the questions that we ask when we're developing games, because again, we want to make sure the flooding experiences we get out there are at a quality level that we know that you can get into and interact with. There's plenty of things in here that we will address as known issues for the flight. But again, it's a part of getting you guys a build in a relatively quickly manner. I'll be honest, like this flight for sure, back to the original question, tons of variables, tons of things now compared to the campaign flight that we got to think about, and we want to make sure that, again, we're putting the right thing out there.
And now we are going to have, like, for those that do end up in the flight, there will be we're going to be updating the Halo support site with a list of, like, here's all the known issues. So if you're in the flight and you run into an issue, check that list before you submit a ticket, because if you don't, I'm going to be grumpy. And so we're going to be working on stuff like that. So there will be like a, hey, we know this is a thing, we're working on it. But honestly, like, sometimes running into bugs like that is helpful, because then you know what to fix, right? Because if you don't, like, well, okay, why? But if nobody reports it, then you're even, it's even more useless, right? Got to make sure you get everything.
That's why we flight.
Exactly.
and I think that's one of the, again, I haven't been in the game industry quite as long as some of the guys and gals I work with, but seeing something like flighting is such an amazing tool that you can really leverage with game development to allow you to see what things look like in the real world, right? You know, there's things that only we see on our corporate network, right? Or in certain networks to where like users that are on their own home connections or home environments, they don't see it.
Or vice versa, right? That's my favorite. It's like, hey, this is the thing that's happening, and I go to try it at my desk, and I'm like, works for me. And then they're like, well, we need to test it not on CorpNet, and I'm like, well, I'm at work, so I don't know. I have no way of testing. But yeah, I don't. People are asking, I can't see the game, the guy keeps dying. I mean,
it is heroic.
Live,
it is heroic.
Yeah.
I won't lie, it's not easy.
No.
Heroic.
You guys
it
should
is
have seen me
challenging.
practicing before the stream. I think this is bad. Jeez.
So let's see. I'm just trying to catch up on chat. I've been watching a little bit. Is multiplayer game? Oh, I don't think we've really talked about anything about like game chat or anything like that, right? Like we haven't really gotten into too much of any of other features.
Yeah, there's definitely, when we look at the PvP flight, there's some features that we're looking at, especially with like text chat, right? Like things that are new to a Halo title,
right?
And so like that's something we really want to validate with flighting and get feedback on improvements we can make with it. You know, we're obviously getting to a place where we feel feature complete. And happy to flight it, but again, those are features that are new. That's like, let's flight it. You know, let's see if people.
Let's see what people think.
Yeah, what people think.
Yeah. Sorry, Scoops again is in chat. So wants to know if Playing Dead is in armor ability, if that's new.
Playing Dead is an armor ability.
Scoops is
yes,
great.
it is. It's actually my favorite one. It's the one that I tend to equip by default.
Yeah.
The Play Dead feature.
So, So what's your favorite? So this is a question that comes up a lot, like in chat when we're playing normally. Mm-hmm. You get to play one map and one game mode. Any Halo title, like anything. What do you play? That's the only thing you get to play for the rest of your career.
One map, one game mode.
This is Kenny's favorite question.
Of any Halo?
Why do you make it so hard, Kenny? One map, one game mode. I think game mode, probably Capture the Flag.
Okay.
I'm a huge Capture the Flag fan, and I like the variable that you kind of have to do this like baiting and switching with flags.
Right.
Especially on the competitive side, I always saw some cool stuff there. And then on what map? Capture the Flag. I would say I loved Onslaught from Halo 3, which was one of the Forge created maps for the competitive circuit.
Yeah, which if you've been watching any of the grassroots stuff or anything like that, we've seen a lot of it pop up.
Exactly. But in terms of for Reach, I'd say Zealot Flag would be like my Reach specific one that I want to play.
Okay. What about, so you would say otherwise if it was any title, it would be Onslaught?
Onslaught probably, yeah. I really enjoyed Onslaught. Onslaught Flag, it was just a great game type, especially if you had a really good team. It was fun.
So you used to be a pro player. What's your favorite moment from that? Like, do you look back and be like, this one tournament was my favorite. Here's why.
So, as some of you may have seen, Tyler Blevins Ninja took a picture today of the Halo statue, and so I came across a conversation today with Tyler, and it went back to this memory that you're asking. That
perfect.
That's a good mix, right? Ninja in the house, but. Talking with Tyler just made me realize the Halo 4 win that we had. It was my only tournament that I'd won. I'd gotten within the top 8, within the top 6 plenty of times, but that was the one that felt like you had 4 guys that were really working as a team and their ass off to want to win for the other guy. And it was there's another team, my Warriors Halo Reach team, which I felt that way when we got second at Providence. But in terms of moment, like it's that winning moment, Like I loved the history I made with Reach for sure. But when you win in that moment and you're right there, it's I think anybody could contest, right? Like winning feels so good.
I mean, it's like winning any sports tournament too,
yeah,
right?
And regardless of the teams that show up, and regardless of again the event, like. I remember winning that, and I remember like getting a few tears in my eyes because again you work so hard for this moment, and then when you succeed, it feels like you're on top of the world. Yeah. So that was my best competitive moment, or favorite competitive moment.
Sorry, going back to the one map one mode. Ocean Valdez says CTF and Blood Gulch. I feel like that's a pretty standard, like pretty classic game type, right?
Of course, yeah. And that's the thing. Like I definitely come with more of a competitive mindset.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I know, right? Who would have knew? But yeah, for sure casual, like Blood Gulch, CTF, Heck, I even like Zanzibar One Flag, like was another good one.
Okay.
That's the thing, like with especially Halo 2, there were so many one-sided game modes,
Yeah.
one bomb, one flag, that were just so much fun.
Sam, people are asking, can you invite friends into a party to search Fireflight?
Yes, you can. Yeah, we're cover our like golden path flow with inviting users through Steam. And again, if you're friends with users through the roster, so we have that outlined in our essentially in our mails and our known issues around things that
How
we're working
to and
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Cool. There's your answer. Look at that.
That was another thing, right? Like even looking at issues and how we prioritize like the flow. Like, okay, we did all this. Well, we have a social element now with Fireflight that we didn't have with campaign.
Right.
And it's like, okay, can we make sure we have a solid enough social element where it's like they can invite each other through Steam or they can invite each other through the roster. So it's, validating that we have some way to have this be a good social experience.
Sure. Because, I mean, one of the things like Firefight or whatever, it's more fun with friends, right? Let's be real. Like, it's fine. I've gone in and I've played my share of Firefight all alone, but it's one of those experiences that is just more entertaining with friends, I think, because you can do silly stuff. You can, hey, let's try this. It's a great play. It's a low pressure, like, nobody's going to get mad if you jump off the map, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you jump off the map with a flag or something, they're going to get mad at you. Why'd you do that? So I like to goof off. I don't know. What was the last blocking bug that was fixed from the Ring 3 blockers? Are we talking about stuff like that?
I'm happy to just kind of let you guys know like things that are common and that we've seen in our earlier rings, right? That became a bigger issue for us to label it as a Ring 3 blocker. So for example, the one bug we're looking at now is like having a extra device plugged into your machine causes you to crash when loading in or causes instability.
Extra device being
A controller.
Or even a second mouse.
Or even a second mouse that we noticed. So like, again, there's these things that, some people might have secondary devices signed in, right? And I don't know technical reasons why these things crash, but reasons,
Right.
this crashes, and this is a common thing that I think users will have plugged in or will have on their machine. So we're going to use today and use the coming days to validate that, right?
Sure.
And make sure that issue is not occurring anymore. Additionally, also like losing input in the front end was another one that was on the lower side of a repro.
Well, you don't actually need to see anything, right?
You don't need to move your mouse.
No, not at
but
all.
again, these are things that are going to affect that golden path that a user could potentially get stuck with no input, right? And they got to quit the build essentially, right? Or quit the application,
Right.
and then relaunch. So again, we want to make an experience that can be stable for the users that we're flighting this out to in the
For
public.
sure. Scout ODST wants to know, like, how did you become a producer? What skills are needed? That's a good question.
Definitely back to the people person
Yep.
stuff. Like you need to interact with all different types of various folks. So you're going to come across designers, artists, engineers that are both introverted, both extroverted. You know what I mean? And you got to learn ways that you can connect with these people, right? And this helps building rapport with them and getting to an understanding of expectations and the job you need to do to help both of you be successful. So I would say you need to know people very well. In this industry, and I think in life, networking. One of the things I did back when I was on the pro team was the pro team here internally for 343 was network with some of the folks on the Waypoint team, on the website team, because they were working on stats, right, for Halo 5. And I was like, well, I love stats, I love numbers. And, I connected with a producer on that team, and he just gave me some feedback and some input. And it's really finding that mentor or, person that you can ask questions about, ask, the experience they deal with.
Because there's always somebody that knows more than you.
Correct.
Always. And that's not a bad thing. That's not
isn't.
like, it's just a fact of life, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing, you learn so much as you continue to make this type of relationships and friendships with folks, is you always want to be curious, right? And it never hurts to ask questions.
Yep.
So I would say networking, being a people person, organizational skills, right?
Scoops actually just brought that up. Good note taking.
Yeah, good note taking. Organizing, right? Like understanding the right questions to ask next time, even just the right questions to ask. Because even with me, I'm in some meetings where very, very, very super technical maybe, but I can ask questions to help me understand how it might impact a timeline, right?
Yeah.
Or how it might impact a feature. I might not have to get into the weeds on exactly what's the functions exactly happening, but I need to understand impact, timelines, how long things are going to take. But it's a lot of fun. I'll give you that. Like if you're a person that is again a people person, you like working with others. Like it's a sweet role.
Nice. So is that the end of that one?
That is the end of that one.
I do one more. I think?
I do want to do one more, but I do want Eric Ferdinand to go into just the settings stuff real quick. Sure. Just to again, we have the support in the actual title for you to adjust. But here, as you can see, if you open up, let's go select on that one. Here you have obviously some options some ones that you've seen from the last flight, as well as some new ones here. So you'll be able to adjust your controls in this page. As he scrolls down, you can see obviously more and more options. I assume everything felt well from the last game, Eric. Oh, yeah. You can go to the top and select your key bindings. So again, similar to what you saw in the last flight, we have some key binding support here for you to obviously put the keys on or put the controls on the keys that you feel most comfortable.
So I'm actually playing on a modified setup right now that's mapping melee to center mouse click because that feels really natural.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then if you go to video, we have a field of view slider here. This now goes past 90. Our last one in the campaign flight went to 90. So we do have, again, that feature expanded a bit there. And then some additional more settings in this screen. So we're excited, again, to get feedback on this.
Basically, you want to give people the option to play how they want to play. What feels most comfortable for you, right?
Correct. And again, these are a part of that PC first experience that we want to get get eyes on and get feedback on as we.
Good accelerate thing. No,
I know. Play on 120 field of view.
Let's we can go back and start searching.
All right, we're gonna search the other mode, right?
Yes. Yep. Let's do Firefight Arcade.
Sounds good.
All right, Tyler, get your guys searching arcade.
Throw some fun into the mix. I've actually enjoyed this one a lot. Firefight Arcade. It's you get depending on what variant you get selected, you get like unlimited ammo. You can get rockets and jetpack. Like I found I think it's the rocket and fuel rod one is just like my favorite because you're just like flying and just destroying everything.
I was playing in matchmaking.
Corvette.
Yay!
Yes.
I'm glad it's not Holdout. I'm glad it's a different map.
Yeah, me too.
We were playing. I played. I went into whatever hopper it was on retail Legacy Reach and was searching one day. This is way back when, and I got Scarmageddon on Waterfront.
Oh.
I got a perfection on it because I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die to these skirmishers. Most stressful game of my life. I don't have my 360 anymore, so I lost because I saved that one, but it's gone now. But that was probably my top moment. It's like I'm done. I'm never doing this again. But it was worth it to do it one time.
I even love just doing that now. Like I was saying, there's some nights I'll go home, again, just get situated on my console and be like, you know what, I want to play some back and pat Halo Reach. And, I get into games where it's like, I've had a few people like, Derskisi, why are you playing Halo Reach right now? And I'm just, it's really cool that we have the ability to do that now and even interact with some of those fans. And, some, if, again, depending on if they're hiding on rocks, don't know this is coming to MCC, on both.
I'm always surprised by that.
It happens. I mean, again, some people are super into social media, some people aren't. But again, it's been actually really cool having some of the late night conversations with some of these folks with the old voice chat where you could tell the the way it just kind of renders and comes in, it sounds super old school. But it's been fun having those interactions with some of the legacy folks, and just to your point, playing these historical legacy things that we're even looking for feedback and going to be validating for this flight, right? So as an example, the last heroic firefight, some of these variants were 30-minute variants, right? Could go that long. Typically we have some averages of where we think those games should last, but this is we're in a world now where it's 2019, right? The game is now almost 10 years old. And we have the ability to adjust these things if they feel like they're too long of sessions, right? So that's another thing we'll look at, average match duration and things like that from this flight to see if the majority of our matches are falling in a window that we feel happy about, right?
I mean, I bet you that's something that not a lot of people would have taken. People watching be like, oh yeah, that is a thing that you have to think about, right?
Yeah, games are very different nowadays. You know what I mean? Very, very different. So
they are.
With us bringing this forward MCC, we're in a world where we can have those conversations and have those discussions.
I mean, 'cause it's one of those if they're not happy with your game, they're not as likely to stick around and go to a different mode. They're likely just to change games entirely. So you got to find a way to like, we want you to stay, we want you to be happy playing our game. How can we do that? How can we help you help us? So, let's see. Try to keep up on chat. How are you doing over there, Liz? Liz is being a rock star and helping us out tonight.
I'm good.
Per usual.
Big thank
Yeah,
you. Big
thank
thank
you,
you to
Liz.
Liz. We love you and the support.
Being here, this is great.
We started at the emails, and I just could like imagine Liz looking at all these emails of like, you want to do what? You want to do what? Team Liz. Yep, lot of love and chat for Team Liz.
I hope the test team gets better. I hear there's a plague going around, so.
At least some of us from Outpost Discovery. I went to Outpost Chicago, and I came back with con crud for sure. I was out of commission for 2 days.
All right, but how was it?
It was amazing. It was fantastic.
No regrets?
None whatsoever. I have family out there, so it was kind of dual purpose for me being out there. But one of the big things was I actually got to do an event with one of our Make-A-Wish guests that was attending
Awesome.
Chicago as well. That was fantastic. And lots of love to KP and John Friend for facilitating all that. We really couldn't have done it without them.
Awesome. Yay! Have you been you went to Philadelphia,
Yeah,
right?
Philadelphia was a blast.
Because that's where you're from.
Yeah, similar to Eric, like obviously there was an opportunity to talk, MCC and CMCC, but like having my family experience that stuff was like.
I wanted to go, and I was gonna bring my parents, and then my dog got sick and cost me like $1,000 in vet bills. So hey, that's cool. I couldn't just leave him all alone. I would like it was fine, and I just would have felt really bad leaving him like with stitches and like having to wear a shirt the whole time.
Priorities, Sam, priorities.
Yeah, I know.
I think you
being,
picked the
being a
right
good
one.
mother.
I know. Somebody wants to see you put it on 120 frames for just like 5 seconds.
I guess. Sean?
You go for it.
Yeah.
You get your wish, accelerate.
Yeah, he's gonna if he gets in the flight, he'll.
I mean, yeah, I hear he really enjoyed the first flight.
Yeah, no. Oh, is
Accelerate,
it,
yeah.
Accelerate with an 8. Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember. Yeah. I was gonna say that. The way people. There we go. 120. Boom. We have a guy with this.
It looks fast, but it's not.
It's not. We have a guy with a super widescreen, the one from the blog, Jared.
Yeah. Who's actually playing this game with me right now.
Yeah, he's actually in this game on a lot wider setup than Eric Fernand is.
Yes.
What were we just talking about?
Accelerate.
Oh, Accelerate, yes. The campaign stream. I remember tuning in. It was awesome to watch.
Yeah. So he apparently he was playing like he texted me on Discord. He's like, "What's Dursky's Twitch name?" And I was like, "I'm pretty sure it's just Dursky." Why? He's like, "Cause some guy named Dursky showed up in my stream and I didn't know who it was." And I was like, "I'm pretty sure that was him."
Yeah, and that's, again, like with everything going on and obviously with us, preparing for the flights and when they are happening, we're very in a place where we're monitoring this the whole time it's going on. So we do these digital and physical war rooms that essentially we're seeing obviously the players that are playing, the concurrency and things happening. And that, I was able to have a chance to, at least in the last flight, hop into some Twitch streams, right, and see some users and Accelerate. That it was an awesome stream, man. Like it was super cool seeing you interact with the product for the first time. I think that's what like really motivates the team here and motivates everybody. Is again to Eric's Fernand's point, the seeing people play MCC PC at Outpost, right, and going back to the studio and hearing the things that they're saying and getting feedback. It just motivates you that much more to deliver on this thing in a good way.
He's super happy. He's giving you the crying heart.
Yay.
Nibre says playing at less than 360 degrees. Pa. Oh man. Bonsoir de France. Okay. Welcome, Max. I think. So man. Top down adventure view. I think that was the Spartan Strike games, right, or something.
Twin stick shooters.
Yeah. Top down.
Oh, dude, that was awesome.
That was cool.
This is giving me a headache. Like just watching the field of view is ridiculous. Oh, we're gonna teabag. Okay. Actually, to be fair, somebody over in the Xbox chat said if you're not doing that, then you're not doing it right. Apparently. So there you go.
I actually cleared teabagging with the crew in here before we went on stream to
This
make
is
sure
true.
that was okay.
This is true.
Like I'm asking the important questions right now.
So Eric,
Yeah.
what's your favorite part of like happening? What's of the build that's happening right now? Like what are you looking forward to the most?
I am looking forward to getting our next flight out the most. To be completely honest with you, we've been working really, really hard on trying to solidify and lock in a build. And every day that we test a new build and get a new build drop from our partners, it gets better and better every day. So we're just really looking forward to getting something out and collecting that feedback and figuring out ways that we can improve it in new ways.
Nice. Oh, that game. Oh,
Yeah.
We're good.
Like
Somebody-
right there is again like a network hitch that we're able to obviously after this game see like what happened, right? Like, and then as we continue testing, is this something that's common we're seeing from every game? Or let's say we flight this build, do we see this in our rings? Again, these are all things that just come up, right? And it's a part of game development that we need to obviously just understand, right?
Eric, somebody wants to see the other end of the field of view spectrum. What could go wrong, right? They want to know.
It's just 70. It should feel pretty
Somebody was
standard.
hoping it would be 1.
No.
No.
Excuse me while I vomit.
It's actually feeling pretty good at 120.
Yeah, it's crazy though visually seeing like again like you can do this to a Halo game. It's pretty cool.
I will
Yeah.
say though, going from 120 all the way back down to 70 that fast, it feels so much slower now.
It
Yeah,
does.
it looks like you're like walking through molasses. It only goes down to 70. Yes.
Yes.
Let's see. Neat, please. What? Oh, they all want you to go back up to like 90 or back up to 120. Basically, go to something that's not 70 is what they're saying.
Please?
Yeah, they've all said please. When your gun takes up half your screen, lol. Nice. Very nice. Changing the graphics settings in game, that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. So, you got any questions or anything that you want to bring up that we haven't covered? Or?
I think like we've covered a lot of stuff today.
have.
Like again, to let the group know, like we're very actively, again to my point before, looking at this as potentially a Ring 3 build, right? And so that's that comes with some awesome stuff, right? We could be flighting super soon. Not today. Not gonna bite my tongue and say any dates, but we're gonna further evaluate this build and see if this is the one that we're gonna get out to flighting.
Because I saw somebody on Reddit, like, they caught the tweet I tweeted out about this yesterday, and they were like, maybe they'll be like, it's available now, and I was like, no. And then instantly got downvoted like 3 times. I was like, I just feel like there's somebody there just mad, and that's the only thing they can think to do is like downvote. Like, how dare you tell me no?
Yeah, and even again, I could see potential future stuff. Like if there's a fight going on, these always happen on a Wednesday. Like there could be some opportunities in the future that could align to that. But like even
Not today.
what's great about the Halo Insider program is like we're able to see the data these users filled out around like what are the most common times you want to play in flight.
Right.
And like typically you're gonna see Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
It's like people have time on the weekends.
Which is obviously kind of known, right? Like, clearly probably the weekends are the best one, but like it helps us understand, the user groups and certain people that we can target at certain times. So I wouldn't say it's not something that's not possible.
Sure.
Like flighting on a Wednesday in a stream, but it just we got to make sure we align the pieces and that it's
But it's not happening today.
not today.
So many happy grunts right now.
Hey.
Yeah?
See, one of the things that we have to consider for flighting is that we need to put a build out there while we understand that going into a flight it's not going to be completely perfect and polished because it's still pre-release content. We have to make sure that it's functioning enough to be able to collect good objective feedback. So if there's areas of the game that we need feedback on that are blocked, that are crashing, we can't access, then we're not going to be able to collect the feedback that we actually need. So that's a big part of how test assesses these builds and how we look at it. We have criteria that plays into that.
Somebody's asking about the Jackal shields, and I think that's a known issue, right?
It is.
Yeah. I mean, like we said, work in progress, known issue, known bug. It's on the list.
And we're actively aware.
Yep.
Again, there's a few animation things. It's just all up within Firefight. Again, talking about the networking model, right? There's just things that we're still continuing to clean up as we get closer to, to shipping this game. So again, to your point, we have known issues on the Halo support site. Letting users know things to keep an eye out for.
For sure. Will Fireflight be playable at Outpost Discovery next weekend?
I had a conversation about that today.
I know nothing.
I will make no comment. But
Are you going to Outpost
I
next
will
weekend?
not. I will not. But maybe if Firefight's at Anna, I'm kidding. I might use that. But
Just talk about priorities.
Yeah, had a conversation today. I think there's again just a lot of things we want to make sure. You throw into account those venues, right, and the internet there. Like I want to make sure that back to this build, there's lots more variables than just one campaign mission. So
speaking of next weekend, I saw somebody in the Xbox side did ask if we were going to be at PAX, and no, we are not at PAX. We're not going to have anything there. I think this is kind of an off year for Xbox as a whole, I think.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like
we've got XO coming up though.
XO's coming up, which is huge.
Who killed the engineer? The smartest person in the room probably, so everybody doesn't have shields. But yeah, no, XO's coming up, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. So I think it's just low-key year.
Yeah, and we're excited to at least use E3 as a place to really kickstart. Obviously, people playing MCC PC for the first time.
That's exciting. I never thought I'd get to play this in more than like in 60 FPS and stuff.
Yeah.
Do we have an FPS that they're playing on right now? The people have been asking. I don't know if this is something we're talking about. So by all means,
60 right now.
This build will be locked at 60.
All right.
Again, similar to the crossplay stuff, we know uncapped frame rate is a feature that is requested and something that you can do on PCs, right, with the hardware and the machines you have.
Right.
So again, definitely something we're actively aware of.
Okay.
But
that's fair. Sorry,
nothing more to
watching
comment.
chat too as it goes. I don't know that we're talking anything about competitive Halo on PC and stuff. That would be a Tashi question, I believe. Anything competitive Halo?
I think what I will comment. Yeah, I know, right? I will say though, like this is something super interesting with it. Like we're in a point with Reach coming to PC that at least myself and maybe some of the other console players that have played for probably the 10+ years, like I feel super confident sitting down and with a controller, an Xbox One controller, and actually being like, no, I'm not going to lose to a mouse and keyboard person, right? Like there's kind of an ego there, but it's like we've been playing on these controllers for 10+ years on these games.
Wasn't it somebody at the Fortnite thing actually just like he won with a controller?
The PC player or the guy who got first had a PC. But Aiden is a player that's on the PlayStation 4.
I think somebody won with somebody was like top 3 or something with the gamepad. I thought somebody won.
Yeah, and well, that's the thing, right? Like seeing Fortnite, right? That there's these controller guys that can hang with the PC guys.
Yeah.
I won't argue that your range of motion on a mouse and again, like your reaction with the mouse compared to a joystick, like no, yeah, like for sure.
You can be way
but
more
there's
precise.
this muscle memory, at least to answer the competitive side, that like there's this muscle memory that professional players and players who've been playing on console for all these years just have in their head and in their hands that I'm actually looking forward to, like, how PC players, would even compete against a controller player.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, also somebody pointed out Snipe Down at Apex at the X Games. Yeah, that's another one. So.
Holding it down for the controller crew.
I don't know. You guys are all catching up on chat with me, yeah. Xbox is just really all about the stickers. They're so cute. Oh, it's the Gears Funko. It's the Gears Pop ones. That's what they are. Okay, I was like, what on earth are they? And then I realized, they're little Funko Pops. Okay. Let's see. Searching again. No, I think we're done at the 2. Unless you want to say we have time for one more. We got
How long did that Firefight arcade game go?
12 minutes.
12 minutes. Yeah,
we can start up another one, but I'm not
entirely
sure if
early.
it'll be done by the time.
Yeah, let's
arcade.
Yeah,
let's
arcade.
do another Firefight
Tyler.
arcade.
I die way less in arcade. Also want to give a shout out to the test team that's upstairs that's supporting these matchmaking games. It's Blake, Jared, and Colin on our test team. Thank you guys so much for supporting this and carrying me in these games.
that comment at the end, carrying me in these games.
Let's see. Hashtag test team.
Hashtag test team.
Okay, Kaney, I'm a little offended by that because I really like my Grump birthday party armor ability effect thing, whatever it is. In Reach, that was the only thing I ever spent any of my credits on in Reach. Was like the Grump birthday party, the hooray!
It's
so good. It's so good.
I'm sure people saw the Elite image we shared the other week. Tyler post them shared in the blog. Or forum posts, or I think it was the Ring blog, the flighting blog. Looks super good. Yeah, like again, those screens are coming along. There won't be any of that for this flight, but again, back to when we're ready with these things, we will definitely look at opportunities that we can flight it and get in front of you all.
What's been your as you're watching this come together, right? What's been the biggest oh my god, this is so exciting, this is a really great moment? Because I know there's a lot of it, right? It's all, hey, look, and we got the 3rd map. Look at that, 3 for 3.
Yes, let's go.
Excellent.
Good showing.
Go Beachhead. I would say the best moment was outside of me seeing and being actually in the room with the guys, when we had Duck get the competitive settings ready, and the pro team and I hopping down there and just playing no bloom, no sprint stuff was super cool to be like, holy crap, we're playing 60 frames right now. We have some guys.
How good did that feel?
Super good.
Yeah.
You had some guys, plugging in their controller, to the PC. You had some guys playing mouse and keyboard. And so that was a super cool moment. And then after that, I would say when we were seeing the customization screens come online in Unreal, like just seeing the quality and the fidelity with them, even at the state they were in of like still work in progress. It's just like
Would
this
you
game.
say they were unreal?
They were unreal.
hey, let me have that.
It just gave you that like super awesome moment that like, holy crap, this game still holds up super well to this day.
What keyboard are you using over there? It looks like a
I'm using
Razer.
a Razer, yeah.
It's a Razer keyboard, Ocean. Set the graphics options to low.
Oh yeah, I saw people asking for that.
Is that a thing we can do?
Maybe.
Yeah, go for it.
Maybe we're gonna find out. Any chance we get stats from the Reach build from Outpost Discovery or Gamescom? Probably not. I think that's information that's not really relevant.
For Gamescom,
Just the stats and stuff, I guess, if people played.
I've seen a lot of cool pictures.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen a lot
Thank
of cool
you,
pictures.
Noah, from
Yes.
our market, and Unishek from the marketing and community team. The
Yes.
pictures look great.
No, I've seen also pictures of like Gamescom as a whole. No, my feet are good. I like my
That's
feet
what
attached.
I've always heard.
Like it's massive. You think E3 is bad? It's like 3 times as big as E3. Hard pass.
Yeah.
Hard pass. My feet are very happy not being there.
And just seeing some of the comments, because I know it's, I think it's Noah and John's first Gamescom.
Yeah.
Just seeing some of the comments from the vets in the studio on some just mail threads of just like, cheers to the first Gamescom, because like to your point, like they know it's, again, there's lots going on, lots of walking, lots of standing, lots of people, right?
Somebody from the
Oh, yeah, Nick is
Yep.
there as well.
Yep. Let's see. So what else has been going on? We've covered that. Covered a little bit of Outpost. I don't know. How's the rest of your summer been?
Good, busy, for sure with this.
It's like you're working on a video game or something.
I know.
How dare you?
But it's, again, this is a project when I saw that I'd have the opportunity to work on it a while ago, like something I was super excited for. But overall, like, solid Seattle summer, like not amazing, not too awful.
I'm
but
actually really disappointed with this summer. Like the fact that I woke up today and it was raining and was like,
Yeah.
I want the sunshine.
But,
That's
like-
a Seattle summer.
Apparently the last few years have been like abnormal and this is a more normal thing and now I'm feeling lied to.
Well, I think that the thing that got me the most, like I like the outdoors a lot, typical PNW person, is the smoke from the recent years, like with the forest fires, unfortunately,
That's true.
has, I haven't seen any of that this year that made it up to Seattle or in our area.
Yeah.
So that's just been a bit better outdoors to
Yeah.
not, breathe in the smoke. But yeah, it's been good. Probably, vacations in the winter time coming up here for me. I don't know where yet, but
Somewhere.
somewhere with a beach.
Yes.
And sand.
That sounds like a good
well,
plan.
there's people call beaches out here, and there's like pebbles and rocks. And where I grow up in the East Coast, it's like no, a beach needs to have
I
some.
mean,
Redondo.
it's interesting, right? Because like the East Coast, like you said, is sandy and all that. The West Coast tends to be rocky.
Rocky, yeah.
But then you go to like Europe, and like the East Coast of Europe is rocky and stuff.
Oh no way, I didn't know.
Yeah. So like, because if you go to like the beach on the eastern coast of France and stuff, it's all rocks and pebbly and kind of like quarry type thing.
Yeah.
But then you hit the Mediterranean, and it's all sandy. So I think it's just like the shifting kind of, and then you go to the east coast. Like if you hit the Pacific on the other side, it's all sandy and stuff, like in Hawaii and everything like that. So.
You learn something new every day. I had no.
Yeah, because like when we went to visit my uncle somewhere in the south of France one time, and we went to the ocean, like on the Atlantic side, and it was all rocks and stuff. And I was very confused because I had been living in Boston, and my dad would take me to like Cape Cod, and it was all sand. And I was like, why? So it was very odd, very different. So it's just the way I think the currents work, right? Geography, geology, and all that. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to understand it.
Life.
Yeah. Don't like the sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating and gets everywhere. I will take it. I want to go sit somewhere and like stick my feet in the sand and just in the hot. Yes.
See, I wanna try out Bora Bora.
Yes.
I don't think I would want to come back. Like I think that would be dangerous. Like just go and like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna live here. That would be great. Actually, I do want to go scuba diving out there. That's like on my bucket list. It's on my bucket list. What other hobbies do you have? Like, do you have anything crazy? Any secret hobbies that we don't know about?
So I love just like obviously being active and exercising. Definitely picked up like yoga like a few years ago.
Okay.
And working in games, like it sounds weird, but it's like it's such a great mental exercise for you, and it puts you in a great place mentally.
Okay.
Again, lots going on, timelines, deadlines, coordination with people, and it allows you to really kind of step back and just focus on your breath. Like again, as weird as this sounds, like you know, things happen so fast with a lot of our lives day to day. That just taking the hour and a half out of your day to again do something like yoga has helped me a lot, just with mentally being still sane.
So 16-year-old Sean would be like, hey, you're gonna be way into yoga later on.
Never knew it. Yeah.
Sean is the most zen person on our team too, as far as I know.
Trying, yeah. and you know, people can I think tell the days I don't do yoga.
I feel like you are pretty stable. Like you don't seem to get flustered very often.
Yeah. And so that's helped a lot. Hobby-wise, like I said, like Seattle, there's so much to do outdoors.
Yep.
So like snowboarding, I've been doing a lot of kayaking this year, which is tons of fun. Yeah, and other than that, just trying to learn more about this part of the world and the country. Like
yeah, because you're from the East Coast
as well,
so,
right?
Yeah.
So there's new things you learn each summer, right? When the weather is a bit better, and each winter too. Of like, oh, I can go to that mountain if I want to go snowboarding.
Yep.
So it's been good. Trying to stay busy. A lot of the pro team guys or the pro team have moved out here. So being able to have more and more friends that I knew through Halo and competitive gaming move out here just has been cool to be in a new city and just do new things together.
So if anybody is new to chat right now and aren't aware, Sean actually started out on the 343 pro team. Mm-hmm. So he kind of started out there and has transitioned over to the production team for the.
And absolutely loved it. And again, I give a lot of appreciation to Bonnie and Chris at the time, even Chris Lee and some of the other folks that were there at the time. It's as being pro players coming into the game development industry, you just learn so much about sort of the things I was explaining here of like all the different plates that are spinning, all the different things happening at once, engineering, like animations, graphics. Like there's so many variables happening. Like one day the build's going to be great, and then one day the build might not be great, right? And like just understanding that like we're developing a game and we're going to get to that light at the end of the tunnel and get out a really good product. But there's a lot that we learned in being on the pro team of interacting with the weapons team, the multiplayer team, all these various teams that have big roles, and you want to make sure again you guys are on the same page and coordinating.
So what was it like when they were like, "Hey, do you want to come work for us?"
It was awesome.
Did you expect it? Sorta.
Kinda, sorta. Like I think it got to the point where like I had found that my bandwidth of time throughout a day was leaning more towards the stat stuff and the Halo 8 point stuff, like I had mentioned previously. And so it just got to the point where it's like, you know what, I really enjoyed doing this. That I'm gonna make my days now split 4 hours with the pro team, 4 hours with this. But then when I got the opportunity, and even just recently with going full time, like. I was so stoked and excited to be like, yes, like I've been working so hard to find something I love to do. Good. And this product, like to everybody watching, like this product is something that just, again, I'm so excited when this is all said and done. All games are out and we're continuing to sustain the title. It's going to be awesome.
Good. Yeah, I'm excited. Was moving across the country hard for you?
Family-wise, yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like you miss your family.
I'm the
more
youngest.
Than you.
I'm the youngest. Yeah. So
okay.
mom was.
Mom must have been so sad.
Mom didn't want me to go, but it's like, Mom, I'm 19. I'm not a kid anymore. I'm still a kid, but
you are. You will always be her kid.
But it was hard for the family. But just being able to going back twice a year, twice 2 to 3 times a year.
I think easily that's what I miss the most too. Is like. Because I never got to spend a ton of time with my parents. Like, my dad was always gone and everything like that because he was in the Army. And then I moved away just in time for him to retire. So now he's home all the time, and I still don't get to see him because I'm across the country. But no, Sean is no longer 19. It's like, wait, he's 19?
I know, right? If I was 19 right now, dang.
You've done really well for yourself.
I know. But yeah, with time and with experience, right, like being 19 and starting on the pro team and then being 26 now, it's crazy.
Man,
like
that's a long time.
I know. Yeah, going on. I was at the end of my age of 19.
All right.
But it was, it's just wild to see again how how much even the studio, again, the games we're working on, and shifting from 5 to Infinite, and then obviously with the MCC and the update we did last year, like just a lot of cool stuff going on. I've seen just a lot of stuff at 343 over the years, which has been fun.
Yeah. Awesome. We're about out of time, so we've got a little bit of housekeeping to wrap up with. So Eric's just going to keep playing, I think.
Yep.
I don't know how close they are to finishing up, but let's see. So MCC actually just got another playlist update today because Dana apparently has nothing better to do at this time than keep making all these playlist updates. No, seriously. Duck works really hard at getting all this out. I don't know how he does it.
I want to give a shout out to that man right now.
Yeah.
Like on top of us getting into a good rhythm with doing these every Wednesday and giving the community
It's
new
insane.
and fresh stuff is insane. And amazing, but like even him as person on the team, like he's growing so much into roles where he's able to support us on the engineering side.
Yep.
So again, if we have engineers now that, let's say, with 3 engineers and Splash Damage is all sleeping, right, or they're in a different time zone, we have the ability to really obviously see what things Dana can help support us with. So I've been super stoked to see how much he's grown on the team.
So today's update was team doubles focused, I believe, right? There were some changes. I saw the link go into chat, so be sure to check that out, especially if you're into team doubles. I think there's some matchmaking variants and some map variants, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm sure Tyler can tell you because he wrote the post. So that is happening tomorrow. I believe Castle Wars and Halo 5 is phasing out, and Core Play is coming back. So if you want to do some 4v4 social, there's your chance. Let's see, what else? We've got Outpost Anaheim is next weekend, so if you're in Southern California and want to go, check it out. HaloOutpostDiscovery.com. I always forget. Like, I type up all these notes and then I forget because it's the end of the show.
All up, we're, again, when we're, done evaluating this build and seeing if we got all of our Ring 3, blockers, like flighting, this build, right, is something on the horizon for sure.
We'll keep you guys posted on when that's happening. Yes, that's the other big one. Thank you. The team has been really hard at work at making sure that we can somehow preserve some of your Halo map legacy maps and modes. Last week we migrated something like 2.7 million game variants. Not even maps. I fully expect the maps to be way more. Because you can use the same variant on like 4 different maps, right?
Lots of content.
So that was 2.7 million game variants that were migrated over. If you have maps that you want ported over that's from Halo 3, Halo Reach, or Halo 4 on the 360, be sure you log into your account and put them in your file share. That's happening on Monday. So basically last call, get that done. That is the other big thing for that. There you go. Kenny put the link in there too because he's great. Monday is maps, yes.
That was a sick Killtastrophe.
Yep, I'm getting there. Face It Ignite was last weekend, so shout out to Talks. I think they won, right?
Yep.
I'm shocked.
I know. But even like again, I watched actually some of the end of the series there, and I know it was Snipe Down and Ace subbing in for the Talks team out there in the UK. But it was awesome to see the UK players. Like, you got to think, like, especially depending on the servers, right, and the matches that they're actually getting and the scrims that they're getting against some of these teams online, they were at a place where they could play on a local area network, right, against some of these top teams. And so that was really great to see. I forget the name of the team, but it was Haulers and Brandon Stone's Respectful. Those guys did put up a good fight against Tox in the finals, which was cool to see.
I, for once, had a normal sleep cycle on the weekend, so did not get the chance to watch any of it.
Yeah.
But while we're talking about HCS and pro team stuff, or like competitive Halo, UGC Atlantic City is coming up September 7th, the weekend after PAX, I think. So 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, I think. I can't math right. So that'll be there. Be sure to check that out if you're in the area, or if you want to go, you can hang out or just hang out in the stream and watch it. But there is information on the UGC Twitter account. There is a website for it too. I think if you just Google UGC Atlantic City 2019, you'll get the link. Did that. Hit Halo 5. Silent Storm paperback is out. Grab a copy if you don't want a hardback. It's a great book. Really great book. You find out why Chief is Master Chief.
No way. Really?
Yeah, you haven't read it?
No, I haven't.
You should read it. It's good. Troy Downing does a really good job with writing Spartans, I think. What else is on my list, Liz? I know I'm forgetting something else. Sea of Thieves. Yes, we touched on this with Corinne and Carlos. If you play Sea of Thieves and you want your ship to look as much like a Spartan as possible, hop in. It's free. Game's also free if you have Game Pass, so, I mean, there's no real excuse
It's all about
anymore.
those UNSC flags. The masks with the UNSC logo on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and like the cap stands and the cannons and stuff, it all looks so good. Seriously, I loaded it up at my desk and I was like, ooh, I'm just gonna leave this up now. I got timed out because I just left it on. Yeah, I think that covers it. Any last words for you guys?
For
You want to
me,
come over here, Eric, and say
I'll
hi?
come
Yeah.
in.
You are connected, so be careful.
How far can I go?
You got
Before Liz starts yelling at me.
I would say like just a shout out to the team here on site that's working super hard, putting in the hours. Again, that goes for both Corinne and Carlos and their teams. They help us a lot. Like I've heard that they went into a few things on the stream, but they help us as well a lot with our product and how we're developing it. But shout out to the team. Shout out to again all the folks in our rings that have been supporting us up until this point. Right after this, going to be heads down, really getting ready to see again this build, and if this is something that we think we can bring out to the
We're
public
trying.
flight.
I've seen a lot of questions like, when is it happening? I mean, the standard answer is when it's ready. It's not it's not just an answer we give for fun. It's like it's the literal answer, right? Like
Yep.
when are we doing it? When it's ready. I know it's become sort of a meme at this point. It's kind of funny, but it's the truth. Like, no point lying about that.
Everyone
So,
will appreciate it at the end of the day.
we would rather do it right than have to walk back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think we all learned the first time.
yeah. So it's again,
We're trying.
yeah.
So, all right. Well, I think that's about it, guys. So, thank you all for tuning in and watching. Thank you to everybody who was over on Xbox. I'm Sam. This is Sean, and this is Eric. We're all going to go back to work now.
Yep.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
See y'all later.